This is me at 4 years old playing Mario Kart on the Wii for one of the very first times ever. Ever since then, I was obsessed with playing video games. From the Wii to the 3DS to playing Minecraft Pocket Edition and Super Mario Bros. With my cousin, I loved it all. I played Overwatch, Uncharted 4, Rocket League, Minecraft. It was all I could think about as a kid. And eventually, my parents stopped trying to set limits. I would play whenever I had free time. And when I didn't have free time, I would watch other people playing video games on YouTube. But really, things started to go bad when quarantine hit. I would sit through a couple of hours of online Zoom classes and then play video games until dinner. And I did that every single day. And I'll admit it was fun for a while. I got to play unlimited video games with my friends, but eventually it started to catch up to me. I started to rage and get mad a lot when I was playing video games. This was the thing that was supposed to be fun for me, but it was making me really mad most of the time. I would get really emotional and sad and angry and literally cry because of something like somebody killing me in Minecraft and taking all my stuff, or losing a bunch of comp games in Rocket League. I felt so dirty playing video games all day, like I was this shut-in. And when I finally started going back to school for like 2 hours a day, for only those 2 hours, whenever I got to school, I already had a headphone dent in my hair because I had already been playing video games for hours that morning. I started to reminisce about how video games used to be so fun and about old times and how I wished I could go back. And I should have known that that was a telltale sign that I should have quit, but I didn't. And I ended up playing video games till the end of 8th grade, which is when I found self-improvement. I realized I wasn't playing video games anymore because I enjoyed it. It was because I had nothing else to put my attention towards. It was just something that I did because I had nothing else to do, something to stimulate my brain. It was all I knew, but video games had become this negative thing. They were more negative than they were positive. And I think that's the situation a lot of people are in. And self-improvement helped me realize that I needed to get out of that situation. I started to think about why I was even keeping this thing in my life that made it worse. It was stimulating and sometimes fun when I was doing it, but I realized that it brought me absolutely no benefit. I was spending so many hours every single day just so that I could stimulate my brain, because I knew that if I quit, I would have to face the fact that I had nothing else to do. That I literally was a shut-in and didn't have anything else, any other hobbies, any other skills to really put my time towards. Self-improvement helped me realize that I actually had things to take action on, that I needed to step into that uncomfortable zone where when I wasn't playing video games and I had to figure out what do I do with my time. It is a necessary step to kind of go into that darkness where you don't know what you're going to do next, where you don't know how you're going to spend your time, but you know that that is the right choice. So this is what I'm trying to tell you right now. If you feel like shit after you get off the game, if it's not as fun as it used to be and you're saying, oh, I wish we could go back. Remember that time where we were playing Rocket League and it was so fun, I wish we could go back to that. That is your extremely obvious sign to you. That should be an extremely obvious sign that you need to quit. For me, quitting video games was pretty easy, but I know for other people it isn't. It's this addicting, cheap source of dopamine that many people will just keep going back to. Even if you know you don't really enjoy it that much anymore and that you really don't want to be doing it, you still end up playing every single day. And if that's you right now, you are who I'm making this video for. The way that I quit video games, which wasn't really intentional, but I think the best way to actually do it is by getting more obsessed with taking action and self-improvement than your desire is for playing video games. You have to want to improve bad enough and realize that video games are a waste of time and you want to get rid of it. And at that point you forget that video games even exist, and then you don't play them anymore because you don't even think about it. For the next week, I have a challenge that's gonna try to get you to do exactly that. To do nothing but actually focus on improving yourself and completely obsess over something else that isn't video games. To spend the time that you would have spent playing video games on another activity. For the next week, if you actually do this, you'll focus on making progress in real life and not in video games. And it will hopefully by the end change your lifestyle for the long term. Right now, I want you to pick something, some activity, something that you're even mildly interested in to be your obsession for the next 7 days. The obsession that's going to replace video games. For the next 7 days, you are no longer interested in video games. You are obsessed about this one thing. It could be anything. It could be going to the gym. It could be pottery or basketball. It doesn't matter what it is. It only matters that you are interested in that thing and that you can spend a lot of time doing it. For example, if you wanted to pick the gym, then you are now going to, instead of coming home and playing video games right away, you're going to go to the gym after school or after whatever you do, work. You could focus on the gym and building muscle and strength, where you literally focus every single day on getting the best workouts in, on researching and learning more about health and fitness and diet. It could be academics, where you actually focus in school, and when you come home, you do your homework and have focused studying. Whatever it is, that is where your focus, attention, and time is going for the next week. That is your new obsession that has replaced video games. This is what I think a lot of people get wrong about self-improvement and purpose. Purpose isn't something that's so grand that you're gonna stumble upon and be like, I knew it, this was it the whole time. It's something you build. You have to go discover something. Even if you're just mildly interested in it, then you can turn it into something that is a purpose. That is something you really love doing. Self-improvement isn't very complicated. It's just about taking action. And if you're willing to take action for a decent amount of time, you'll be able to build habits, and you're going to find things that you enjoy doing, difficult things that you enjoy doing. Video games, instant gratification, all that stuff is very easy. It's easy to come back to. But if you truly focus on something else and truly commit to something else, you can make so much progress. As someone who's gone from the instant gratification lifestyle to the delayed gratification one, I'm telling you that the hardest part is actually just getting started. In the very beginning, everything feels super difficult, super weird, and there's a lot of resistance against it. But if you're able to get through that first difficult period, you're going to have consistent habits, and you're going to question how you even lived life the way you did before. To have a happy, fulfilling life, you have to put your attention towards the things that bring you that. And when you put your attention towards video games all the time, it's this giant void, this purposeless, meaningless feeling that you get in your life. But when you focus on something like working out, that will bring meaning into your life, purpose into your life. This is what this challenge is about. I've realized that when people quit something like video games and they don't instantly feel this greater sense of purpose, they don't feel so much better instantly, they think that nothing has really changed and they just go back to what they know. But if you have patience, you are going to find something that gives you that gives you purpose and meaning, and that you actually love doing. The only rule for this challenge that you are definitely not going to want to do is to delete all of your video games, or at least the ones that you spend the most time on. You're not going to lose your progress if you uninstall the game. You can reinstall it later, but I'm just telling you that right now, before this challenge even starts, before you start doing this, you need to uninstall the game. If you actually do this 7-day challenge where you focus on something else and obsess over something else, and you don't actually feel different, you don't feel better, and you don't like it anymore, then that's fine. If you want to go reinstall your games, that's okay. But what I hope is that by the end of the 7 days, you feel like that you've actually done something productive, that you've done something better with your life, and you want to keep going with that. And if you actually do this and feel that in any way that's true, keep going. You will improve so much if you continue to consistently take action over a long period of time. And you will find purpose in things that you like doing and enjoy the hard work eventually. It just takes time, so never stop improving, because you're going to be grateful for it later.